Hi everybody. This is Kat from Kat's Creations, and I want to welcome you guys to our bow making class. We are going to be going back to basics is what I call it. So many of you guys build these most incredible wreaths but are struggling with the bows, not knowing how to do a freehand bow, a simple bow, using the Probow that we all got for Christmas but are too intimidated to figure out how to use it or even take the time to watch it, or even the Bowdabra. So we're going to be doing all three tonight to add bows to a wreath that I'm currently making, and we're just going to use those as filler bows. So actually having a plan for a bow makes it much easier. Do you have anyone joining us?
Yeah, so Brenda Keniston said hi, Lynn Hoke said hi,
Okay.
and Linda Hawks said hi.
Hi Linda. Hi Brenda. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Steve's going to take the camera and he's going to pull it right around behind me on this tripod, and we're going to give you guys close up because we're doing bows. So I thought the best possible way for us to do that is for a more close-up view of what we're doing on the board. So I'm going to have him move around. So give him just a second to do that. And I'm not even pulling anything up here. Oh, I love it. So once he gets everything all settled, then we'll go ahead and begin. If you guys have any questions throughout, please feel free to ask. I know that there's a huge delay in between when you guys are posting the questions to when we can actually see the comments come up.
Bessie said hi from North Carolina, and Linda said she just got her Probow this week.
Yay! So we're going to be doing that. Well, we're going to be figuring it out together. So, all right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move all my Probow stuff out of the way. I had it all kind of set up and staged for us working on that. I'm going to save that for us working on the center bow. And
Brenda just said hello from New York.
Hi, Brenda.
I'll zoom this out, zoom it out just a bit.
Okay. So I'm moving all that stuff over. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the Bowdabra. So I know you guys have seen me use this before. So I'm going to just move all this stuff.
Patty said hi from Maine.
Hi Patty, how are you? And of course the Kindle's being temperamental right now. So we're going to be using this first. Let me show you guys what, this was a bow I did just playing around and demoing it. I'm playing with the Probow, and this was the bow that I actually made just working with the checkered and the dog paw print ribbon, 1.5 inch. This is the way it came out. So as you guys can see, that was my bow. So we're going to be putting this on in the center of my paw print, and then we're going to be making 2 smaller bows for the other side. Not this size, because this was, and it looks kind of cool, but I don't know,
Size A,
it's just too small. This is using a size A on the Probow. It's perfect, but I would probably not do as many of the little loops that go around the Probow. So.
Brenda said hi from New York. I think I said that.
Yeah.
Patty said hi from Maine.
Hi, Patty.
Karina, who was on last week,
Okay.
said hi.
Hi, Karina.
Brenda Keniston said hi. Ruby Plank said hello from Houston, Texas. Diane Grain said hi. Patty Digger said beautiful bow. And
For my second bow attempt,
yeah.
that was my second, well, no, third. Because I did the little one and I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. And so I was watching a YouTube tutorial of somebody doing it.
Yep, we're all learning together.
Yeah.
Deborah said hi from Virginia. I'm here to watch you work your magic.
It will be magic tonight if we can pull this all off. But like I said, the struggle is real. You know, a lot of times we don't use things because we're intimidated and we're fearful. We don't quite understand how to do it. But there's an old saying in the training world that practice makes
Probows.
No, practice doesn't make Probows. Thanks a lot though. Practice makes permanent. So the more you do it, the more it just becomes second nature to you. And then you're not so intimidated when you have to throw a bow on, or you're wanting to work in a 1.5, 2.5, 4-inch ribbon all together in one huge bow.
Jeanette said hi from Massachusetts.
Hi, Jeanette.
And Michelle Shaw said hello from North Louisiana.
Hi. Okay, so my Kindle is being temperamental, so I am going to just put that aside. It just wants to keep quitting on me.
Okay, I'll do the comments.
You'll play with that.
Although Friday you'll be solo.
Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. I'll have to bring my laptop out.
Cat solo.
Cat solo. Okay, so because we have this black and white checkered, can you see that?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, you can see it a little bit.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out where. So
Now you can see
now
it.
you can see it? Okay. So I'm looking for something to complement this bow without replicating this bow in a smaller version on both sides. So I want something to kind of go with it. And we went out to Joann's because Hobby Lobby is closed today, of course. And Steve actually picked out this really cool, well, this is not my polka dot one. Hold on, here's black and white. I have a gray and white polka dot for the cat one, and then we're doing black and white for the dog. But we decided we were going to go with this color ribbon to make the smaller bows on the side, along with this polka dot ribbon. So this plus this are going to be our complementary colors on the other side, but it also plays off of the polka dots in the ribbon, and then the paw prints obviously are playing off the large polka dots. So we're going to be doing these on our Bowdabra. So I'll show you how. That's just where my comfort zone is right now with those.
If you want to show people with your hands on where you're doing stuff, like around 26 to 24 inches is
So
a good spot.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Just let me know.
Dead center.
Okay. So the
There's a lot of
first thing
people
I'm
joining.
going to do.
Lorna said hi from East Idaho.
Hi, Lorna.
And Debbie Kahn said hi from Virginia. Just been watching Regina Sellers live.
Oh, awesome.
And Vicey or Vicky said hello from Ravenna, Ohio.
Hi.
Donna said hi from Georgia. And they said, Jeanette said love the polka dots. And
Okay.
Nikki Zermina said so darn cute.
Isn't that cute? Okay, so I already informed you that this polka dot ribbon came from Joann's, and the little polka dot ribbon came from Craft Outlet. So I've had this for a while, getting ready for the ladybug. But again, we're starting off with the Bowdabra because that's where my comfort zone is. So we're going to make 2 small ones to go on either side of the dog paw print, and then we'll work on the Probow to do the bigger version of the main bow for the cat. And then we'll try a couple freehand ones. So, your Bowdabra, $15, Craft Outlet. I don't know where it is price point wise as far as Joann's and Michael's, but
Hobby Lobby,
Hobby
about
Lobby,
15,
yeah,
16.
that's where I got mine is $15 exactly, and then I used my 40% off, so whatever 40% off of 15 was.
Yeah.
So this has a multi-variety of uses. You can use it to hold your ruffles, to hold your curls while you're doing other things. So I kind of like it. It's multi-purpose. So the first thing I'm going to do is dovetail my ends. And I'm going to, because the first thing I did was cut the little folded pieces off that come on your ribbon that are folded. I've tried to incorporate those, but it just comes out looking kind of funky. So again, to do our dovetail cuts, we're taking our ribbon, we're folding it in half, and then we're cutting from the folded edge to the wired side, just like so. So we have a perfect dovetail.
Jeanette said I have a Bowdabra but never used it. Wasn't sure, so thank you. So you'll see how she does it.
Yeah, and you'll probably want to save this so that you can watch it and kind of go step by step. The only thing that irritates me on Facebook Lives is there's no fast forward and there's no reverse. So you kind of have to play with it quite a bit to get it to work. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lay our tails down. Or actually, I always
Plain
forget
side
to do
down.
this. The Bowdabra has this little channel that allows you to put in a piece of wire or I do pipe cleaners when I'm working with the grapevines because the gauge wire would be so difficult to push in through the grapevine.
Yeah.
It'd be a little more difficult for me to work out. So I am putting my ribbon in.
Ugly side down.
Ugly side down.
Or plain side down, right?
Yeah. And I know that I kind of measured the width of where I needed my bows to be. I don't want to have super long tails hanging off because there's just not enough room for it where I'm going to put it. So you can kind of pull this through your Bowdabra until you get the tail length that you want. And remember, these are going to be smaller than something a little bit bigger than our center bow. So what you're going to now do is you're going to take your bow, because we've worked it through ugly side down, and we're going to take it to the top, and we're going to kind of twist. I'm just kind of twisting that and sliding that edge right back into my Bowdabra. And then now I have ugly side down. And this is what it looks like on this side. So this is where my bow is approximately. So I think I want it, usually what I do to do the measurement is use my pipe cleaner to look at my scale. And it's about a 4-inch bow. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. So for me, because it's easier, I just spin it around and you do the exact same thing. So with you putting ugly side down all the time, when you go to flip your loop up, it's pretty side. So you're going to do your pinch and slide it back down in the channel. And then you kind of want to make sure that it's about the same on both sides. So for me, 21 to 17, it's a perfect match. So they're both the same side on both sides. And I'm going to do probably, you can do whatever you want. You can do 2. You can keep going back and forth until you have 6 or 8. It depends. But I'm going to be switching this up because I want my polka dot ribbon to kind of toggle back and forth between my bigger polka dot ribbon, if that makes sense. So I'm going to do 2 more. So I'm going to loop it over.
So you're going to do 3 on each side of each ribbon, or 2 on each side?
2 on each side. Thanks for confirming that. So I just flip it around because it's easier. It prevents my my spool from getting out of control. So each time as you're bringing it down, you can measure it and making sure that your ribbon is about the same length. So I'm going to cut it off here, ugly side down, and this is where I'm going to come back in and add my polka dot ribbon. So what I have here is 2 on this side and a tail, and then I have 2 on this side with a tail. So I'm just going to really quickly dovetail this one because it would be something I would probably have a tendency of forgetting by the time I put my bow back together. And what this piece is on your Bowdabra is when your bow gets pretty full, you can take this and you can insert it in the channel and kind of push it down. And it'll kind of flatten it down. Yeah, it kind of pinches it all the way down. And then you just take it out. So now I'm doing my polka dot ribbon. Again, dovetailing my ends. So folded, I cut from the folded side to the wire. And because I already have my tail here, I'm going to put my tail on the opposite side.
Plain side down.
Yeah,
side down.
Plain side down. You can obviously tell what side's the pretty side. And we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to do 2 loops. You do your pinch and twist. And when you do that twist and get it to do the twist, it actually fits in your Bowdabra really nice. So again, I just keep taking it, turning it, twisting it, pushing it down, so that it'll always give me an ugly side on my ribbons. And then I'm always checking to make sure these bows don't go farther out than these bows, because then you have a really funky, ugly looking bow.
Give us a thumbs up and if you can see it well and you can hear everybody okay. Just want to make sure.
So again, I'm doing the flip and twist.
I know it's hard because your hand kind of gets in the way on the one side.
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm doing the twist, pushing it down, checking my length. So I've got, again, 2 here and 2 here. So I'm ready to finish this one. And then I'm going to do my dovetail. So folded to the wired side. Move this out of the way so you guys can see. And then if you want, you can use this because it's kind of lifting up and just kind of rock it back and forth. That pinches that center perfectly. And I'm trying not to get in the way. So you just kind of lift it up. So depending upon what side you want up, I wanted my polka dot side up and not this side. So I'm just going to take my pipe cleaner and I'm just going to move it to the other side. Because I want my black and white polka dot, the littler dots on the top. So I just take my pipe cleaner and I just spin it around like so. And our bow is done. Perfect, right? Looks awesome. Not. Okay. This is where we get to play a little bit. So I'm just going to use the edge of my grapevine linked wreath to kind of act as a holder for me. So I'll show you what this looks like. I'm just going to take it and twist it around.
Thanks for sharing, everybody. Roberta just said hi. It looks like she just joined in.
Hi, Roberta.
Maureen said, love the Bowdabra.
I like it. It's really easy. It was less intimidating than the Probow. So now what you're supposed to do is start at the bottom. So you just take your tail and you start fluffing. So you're going to take one tail this way or one bow that way, and you kind of fluff it, kind of pull it up. And I'm going in the opposite direction with this side, going back to my bow on the other end. So I'm just flipping and fluffing, pulling it around.
Stephanie said she just got the Bowdabra. She's excited to use it.
It's so easy. Just keep practicing. And you know what? The best thing about this is if you really don't like the bow, you just take your pipe cleaner off and start all over again. You haven't like committed to anything except really the length of your ribbon. So if you don't like the size, it's a little too big, take it apart, put it back in the Bowdabra, and then you might have to cut a little bit more off your tail to get it a little bit smaller. But
Midge said 1 loop, so I'm not sure what you said, Midge, unless you want to define it a little bit more and ask us what you mean.
what is the question that
She just typed in 1 loop.
1 loop?
Yeah.
Oh, if you just wanted to do 1 loop on your bow, like one loop here, 1 loop there, I'm guessing. Yeah, if you can let us know specifically what you mean, I'd be more than happy to answer any question you have. So I'm just pulling these almost in opposite directions of where I have my other polka dot ribbon. So I'm just taking my tails, putting them down, and as you run your hands through your tails.
Oh, Midge said you were calling the loops bows, so.
Oh.
Sorry, yes, loops.
Yeah, and this is going to be something for me to struggle with on this session between not confusing Probow with Bowdabra, because I do that quite a bit. So I'm just kind of fluffing my bows.
Thanks, Midge, for catching that.
Yeah, loops.
Kathy said, hey,
Ribbon.
Kathy Knapp said, hi, Kat, looking good. And Emily said, hello, I'm from South Padre Island, Texas. First time watching and already in love with the process. It's
really easy. And you can even add a 5th loop if you want a little loop in the center. But as you guys can see,
you can hold it down just a bit. There you go.
This makes our bow perfect. And then of course you'll fluff some more. I'm trying to pull my, you'll fluff it some more once you get it in its permanent spot. So in this case, I kind of know where my ribbon's going to go on my dog paw print wreath. So I'm just going to attach this and show you what it looks like in comparison to the other one. So I'll make these a little bit more permanent when I'm done, but...
Roberta said, I've had the Bowdabra for months now, but now I know how to use it.
Yay, that's good. And just keep practicing. I mean, that's how you get proficient, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's kind of what we have
so you
so
can
far.
hold it up a little bit.
Like so.
Yeah, there you go. So they can see it. Good.
And if you want more loops, like if you want to come back in and add maybe one single loop or a tail of this, maybe in the very, very center, you can do that. You would just add in the next ribbon to your Bowdabra and then just make a loop and then cut the tail off.
You also said how many loops in the other bow?
In this one?
So that was with the Probow.
Yeah, this was a Probow one, and I just did however many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It has 9 loops of each color. So there's 9 of these. And we'll show you how to do that in just a second. So this one's gonna go in the center of our dog paw print. So now we're gonna make another ribbon just like this one to go on the opposite side. Because I try to keep the colors somewhat complementary. Steve and I were looking at color choices. We could have went with these two. We could have added that to the dog paw print, but then you have to constantly look at it and go, do these look good together? I fell in love with the small polka dot ribbon, so that was my basis for doing that. So one more time with the Bowdabra. So we're gonna do our Bowdabra again. Moving all my ribbons out of the way. So once again, we have our polka dot ribbon. We're gonna fold it in half to put our dovetail in. It just makes it easier to do it this way. Could you wait and do it all at the end? Yeah, but what I have a tendency of doing is I get so caught up in the creative aspect of it that I forget to go back in and do that. So if you just make it part of your ongoing process every time you pick up your ribbon to put your dovetail on it, you won't have to remember to go back and do that. So remember, we're doing ugly side down for our tail.
Yep.
And I'm just using my ruler here, so 21, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's just about at that 5-inch mark where I want it to stay. So this will be my placeholder so that I know my loops can't go beyond 5 inches, otherwise it'll not look good with my other.
Yep, and it is good to have some sort of cutting mat that has measurements, inch measurements below it.
Yeah, and that's why I use this all the time, because sometimes you'll have people ask in the middle of your tutorial, how big is that? How long was that? What size is this? So having this here allows me to be able to instantly answer that question.
Oh, Bonnie caught it. Hey, no pipe cleaner below the thing.
Ah,
Good catch, Bonnie.
okay.
We do it sometimes.
Yeah, you can go back in and add it at the tail end. Okay, so watch. I'm going to make this one on purpose without the pipe cleaner, just to show you what you would do if you forgot, went all the way through the process, and now you're stuck with no pipe cleaner. So.
Midge said, I just got a Bowdabra, never used it. Thanks for the demo.
Okay, perfect.
Said that. She said she hasn't used her Bowdabra yet.
Pull that thing out. Just make sure you take this out of the Bowdabra.
Out of the bottom,
Yeah, because like when you start it, when you pull it out of the box, it has this already in it. Just make sure you take this out first. Otherwise it won't let your ribbon go all the way to the bottom.
Yep. And Kathy says, is that one grapevine wreath or one big one with 3 little ones attached?
It is
one big one with
four
little ones attached.
You have 4 dog paw prints. Like on the paw print ribbon, it's got 4 little toes, I guess.
Yeah, we can show you later.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, back. 3, 4, 5. I want to make sure I pulled that out since I was playing with it. So we're going to do our loop. We're going to twist, and we're going to push it back into the Bowdabra. And it's nice because when you have wired ribbon, if you have to grab the phone or you have to walk away and leave your process, this is kind of like an extra hand.
Yep.
And it's really great for people who have arthritis because all you're doing is twisting and sticking it in there. Twisting and sticking it in there. You can even come back an hour later and pick this back up. So, again, just because it keeps my ribbon from not getting all twisted, I just turn this. So I do the twist and push down. And because I have...
I guess you're right, yeah, good side down, not an ugly side down. Good side down.
Yeah, I guess it could be.
Thanks,
Everybody
Christine.
else just says it's the ugly side down. So I guess when we're doing it
I guess it is the
quilting,
good side down.
it's
Yeah.
the wrong side,
Right.
right? I guess that's what the term would be in quilting. So we're just doing this. We're taking, twisting, pushing.
Midge asks, is it best to move the Bowdabra or move the spool of ribbon? Usually the Bowdabra, probably.
I find it's easier to move this. You could keep going back and forth with this, but like if I was doing it like this, I guess you could do it this way. But I like, I guess, always working to
Off
the
one side.
right with, see, now I'm back on the left-hand side. So I'm done with this one, so I'm gonna cut it and do my dovetail. So I have 2 and 2. Now remember, I didn't put my pipe cleaner in, so I'm gonna show you what happens because I do that. You know, you might be talking to your kids, you're working on your project, you forget that process, so I'm gonna show you what we do. So once again, I'm pulling out my black polka dot ribbon, not bows, cutting from the folded side to the wired side. So we have our dovetail cut. So because we have our tail on this side, we're gonna start on this side, ugly side down,
Oh, good side down.
wrong side down. I guess because this would be the right way. So it's just easier for me this way. So we got our ribbon, twisting, pushing down. And this is basically the exact same process you would be doing on a freehand, but with you flipping and twisting, you would be holding all of this ribbon in your hand as you're doing the same process. So this is just easier for me. So I take it, twist it, push it back in, make sure it doesn't go past my other bows. So I've got one more on this side. So twist, push it in. So I've got 2. I've only got 1 this way. So I've got 1 more to go. So taking it, twisting it.
And she'll differ. Sometimes she'll move the ribbon from one side to the other, and then sometimes she'll move the Bowdabra.
Most of the time I just move the Bowdabra. Unless the ribbon is being really temperamental, then I might move it so that I don't have so much of it to deal with.
Amy said hi from Orlando.
Hi, Amy. Okay, so folded side to the wired side. It's kind of nice with the polka dot ribbon because you just follow the dots to the other side. So remember, I forgot to put my pipe cleaner in. So this is your dilemma. You're like, oh, what do I do? I guess you could attempt to lift this up a little bit and try to feed it through the channel, but it's just so much easier to take your chenille stem, bend it with like a little loop in it. Let me put a bigger pinch in this, make sure my pinch is really good. So that's what that portion's for, rocking it back and forth. It's kind of mashing down your ribbon. So you just lift it up, just like so. So you've got all your layers here.
Mm-hmm.
You hold it in your hand. Remember, I want my polka dot side up. So you just take your chenille stem,
Find your center.
find your center, and just twist it.
Yep.
And just twist your ribbon around. So we're good. And that's how you do it with the Bowdabra.
Hey, Barb Katie said, hey, Kathy and Steve, this is awesome.
Thanks, Barb. So now I'm just fastening it on here so it's easier to fluff. So they do make a fluff box for the Probow, and that's actually a really good tool because you almost need something to secure this so you can start working your ribbons out, or your ribbons, not bows. So I'm just pulling these out, and I'm going to flip this around, and I'm going to pull these out.
You want to pull it over just a little bit so they can see it. There you go.
Okay.
Got it.
So here we go. And you can pull on it pretty good. It's not going to go anywhere. So I've got my tail here. So I'm going to take this and make my tail pretty.
Hey, Lorraine said, hey, thank you, and she's watching from Puerto Rico.
Wow.
Hi, Lorraine.
Hi, how
Thanks
are you
for watching.
doing? So we're just taking these and flipping them. I'm twisting my ribbons around.
Brian said thanks. Now when I forget, it'll be easier as
When
far as
what?
putting in the Chanel stem or the pipe cleaner.
Yeah, when you forget, you don't panic and go,
Not a
oh
big deal.
no, let me take this all apart. No, just keep going. Just work through it. So I wanted to show you guys what happens when you forget. So just take this, work your ties down, pull your bows up, just like so. Just fluff, open those bows up. And that's why wired ribbon makes it look so amazing, is you just pop open your bows, flip up your tails,
Yep.
do whatever you want.
Has a lot of depth.
Yeah. And then for me, I'm just untwisting this. And now I'll put this where it's supposed to go on my dog paw print, which is just going in between two of the little toes on
I'll zoom out so you can see the dog.
when I'm done.
Yeah, so you can see the dog grapevine.
Yeah.
You basically put the 3 bows in between each of the 4 smaller circles, and it kind of frames everything.
Yeah, and then you, because you have your sign where I've positioned my sign to be, I obviously don't want it covering my sign. So that's when you can just move it around. You can fluff some other parts.
Hey, Janet said, I'm from Michigan. You are always fun to watch.
Thank you.
And Mandy Smith said, hey, I'm new to watching. Just found you. I'm from Georgia. Thanks, Mandy.
Thanks, Mandy. Hopefully this will help.
She's a Smith, too, so
I know.
I'm sure we're related in some way.
Yeah.
We're
there's a
Smiths.
pipeline somewhere. Okay. So as you guys can see, I haven't fastened my middle one in, but I will do that really quick with the one that I had. This one just has wire on it. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to feed it.
Bonita said, on the road coming from our daughters, going home to El Paso. Well, be careful.
I know.
Make sure you're not driving.
I watch, you know what, as long as you're not the one driving, I do the same thing too. I'll watch other people do their live videos.
Lorraine said, my kids have 4 paws. Love it.
There you go.
And Bonita said, so cute.
So I'm just making this look good.
So I'll zoom out a bit now, and then
Okay.
you can kind of,
And then I'm like,
kind of hold it up now.
yeah.
There you go.
So I'm just fluffing and picking these up. And of course, once you stick this in the box to get it to ship,
They'll flatten
it's
down
going to
a bit.
squish it down. But I always include instructions with my wreaths that if there's bows attached, you're going to want to take them and put your fingers through them and just kind of fluff them to your decor. But as you guys can see, that's my paw print. But I've got to go back in and cut all my chenille stems off.
Yeah.
So that's what it looks like. So this is the dog paw print, and it just says beware of dog kisses.
Yep.
So they would hang it on the door just like so.
So Mandy said, how many of the small grapevine circles are attached, and are they 6 inches? Yes, there are 4 of them attached,
Yeah, they're 4 and
and we have to attach them. So you buy them separately.
let me look.
I believe they're 6 inches.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're like 5.5. So it just depends. You might have ones that are more oval shaped and not so much round. Like I think these ones were more oval. These ones were different.
Yeah.
And so you just take them and you take wire.
And you can see you have to wire them in the back, but you don't see them from the front. So they're wired in with a pretty heavy gauge, probably like a 20 gauge wire.
This
As floral wire.
This is 22 gauge.
22 gauge, yeah.
So I have these in here, and technically I don't have to have them in, but it does give it an extra level of support, because what I've done is I've taken them, as I was putting the little toes in, I was putting glue on the sides and then putting it here, and then initially what I did is I had pipe cleaners holding each of these in place where I wanted them to go until it dried. And then once it dried,
It's pretty stable.
I just put the wire in there just as extra stability.
Yeah, so
Because
when
you
you
never
see
know,
it
you're
from
going to have customers doing this, and you don't want it to come off in their hands. So the wire, the 22 gauge wire, floral wire, works out really good. And you can put them any way you want. I've done them before where they're all, standing straight up and put your sign here or whatever you'd like. But For this one, I kind of liked it a little off kilter.
Yeah, it's always best to have it off kilter. Somebody asked if we made the sign. No, we got it.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that one from?
This one I think was Hobby Lobby because it still had a sticker on it.
Yep.
Now the cat ones, I'm not 100% sure because we've had them. I just collect them when I find them. Sometimes I'll find them at a craft store or wherever, and we'll pick them up whenever we're doing like a pet show, or I have somebody who, you know, make a dog wreath. The paw prints do really, really well. If you guys make them, they will sell really well for you.
So Gilda's asked, are you going to show how to use the other bow maker?
Yes,
Great
I
segue.
am right now. Okay, so do you guys have any questions before we move on anything to do with the Bowdabra? Now's the chance to ask. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. This is my go-to. This was where I trained and got good at my bows. So any questions, Steve?
No,
I know there's a little delay.
How much would you sell them for?
These are on sale right now on both the dog and the cat one. They're $55. So when you do the math, if you can keep your material costs about $25, then you've got to figure out what your hourly rate is to put it all together. And I think I pretty much met that with the grapevines. And grapevines never go on sale anywhere. They don't go on sale at Joann's. They don't go on sale at Michael's. Hobby Lobby never puts them on sale. But if you wanted to do them a little at a time and do 40% off, maybe 60% off at Joann's or something like that, stock up.
And you can use one ribbon and make 6 bows with the Bowdabra, or you could use 3 or 4 and stack it and do several in the same bow. Yeah,
you can constantly change colors. Like I've done it before where I just did one loop and then another loop, and I had a tail on both sides, and then I changed the ribbon. And I put one single loop on either side, change the color ribbon, and you just stack and you just keep building layers. A lot of times what I do if I'm going to do a lot is the one that goes on the bottom, I put it out a little bit wider, and then as they're coming in, I make the loops a little bit smaller, so that when you pull it out and you do it, it's going to look like, you know, a normal bow would be. Bigger on the bottom, smaller on the top.
Mandy said, would you recommend buying the Bowdabra?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't use it for making bows, like I said, when you're doing the deco mesh wreaths and you're doing the ruffle technique or you're doing the curls, you can use this as an extra set of hands to hold your curls while you get your chenille stems ready. It's like an extra pair of hands. So anything that you wish had this, that you could use this for, like here, hold that, you can use this for.
Yep.
So it's awesome.
Stephanie says, do you always use wired ribbon?
Yes.
99% of the time, yes.
Yeah. I could have you go get the non-wired paw print. Michael's had a non-wired paw print because those are really hard to come by. You almost have to order them online. I've never seen them, the paw print ribbon at Hobby Lobby with a wire. I've never seen it at any of the craft vendors. If you do, it's a good idea to pick it up. This is what I was able to get when I had someone who really wanted a paw print ribbon, and this was from Michael's. So as you can tell, this has no structure to it at all. But if you were to slide it in here a couple times, like let's just do a quick 4 bow. Like maybe we'll do 5. See how good you can get. You just start going to town. And I'm just kind of throwing these in here. So let's say we wanted to do that. Just like so. And cut this off. And let's just take this. Because it has no wire in it, this one's going to be a little harder to play with. So I'll take this, put this in place, and show you what happens.
Carol said, can I see the cat one? We're just about to start the cat
we're gonna
one.
do that. We're gonna do that one on the Probow. So as you guys can see, it has no structure. So if you're going and taking it and trying to pull this up, it won't do anything.
No.
But if you were going to take this, and this is what I've done, and lay this on top of a bow that has wired ribbon in it, and maybe you're only going to do like maybe 2 loops, then it would have enough to lay on the existing ribbon and still give you like a little bit of a poof.
Yeah.
So you could do that.
And then Mandy said, I have a Probow the hand, but I want what's easy. So the Bowdabra is definitely easier.
It depends, because there's some people.
I've done it.
Yeah, Steve's gotten really good at using the Bowdabra. My 19-year-old has done it. It's so easy to walk someone through the process of that, because they can stop, like they can put their loops in and then stop and then ask you another question, and you just go, okay, now flip it to the other side. Always making sure that it's the wrong side facing down. As you flip it up, you've got your pretty right side facing up as it goes through the Bowdabra. So
Annette and Mandy said, is there still space available in your private group?
Yes, there is. So the best way, I was talking to Steve about this today, is the type of video that you guys are seeing right now over the shoulder instead of facing me is exactly how we're going to be doing our wreath tutorials, so that it's easier for me, because I don't have to worry about, I'm looking at it the way you guys would be building it in reality, and I don't have to try to build it this way so you can see it. So it'll always be over the shoulder, close up, more intimate probably, because there's going to be less people, but you will get SKU numbers for all the ribbons I'm using. You will get links to all of the vendors that I buy from, so that you have your SKU number, copy paste, go to the link, order your ribbon, so you're all set.
Mandy said, could you use fabric stiffener to make it stand up?
We've tried that. Yeah, we tried it. It didn't work very well.
You can, but yeah, it's not going to last very long.
Well, and the customer's going to want to play with it. So let's say, for example, this was fabric stiffened and you smash it down in the box, the customers might have an issue trying to get that look when they go to pull it up with the wired ribbon. It doesn't matter. I mean, I've had Christmas ribbon that has been done with a wired ribbon, and we're able to revive it year after year because it's wired. We just refluff it back out.
And Linda says, hi from Newfoundland, Canada.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda. So we're going to start on the cat.
The one that I'm not really proficient on?
Yeah, we're going to do the Probow right now.
The Probow, right.
And we're still learning.
Yeah, I watched a really good video and actually posted it in my private group because it wouldn't let me post it outside of my private group. But you can go to her website. It is Wreaths by Kathy's Creation with a K and Kathy, and I'm thinking Creations is spelled with a K as well. And there was one that she did. She showed you how to do it the way I'm going to show you how to do it today with a bumblebee ribbon. And that was how I did it last night. I pulled back up her video. I sat here with the thing, doing it step by step, pausing it, doing the step, playing the step, and then trying to get it done. So that's how I made my mini one and then the bigger one. So, here's the cat one. So I'm going to put the dog one away. So here's our cat one. So this one you can kind of see a little bit better the process without bows in it.
You can put it back over on the gray and you can see it.
Okay, like this.
Yep.
Move those to the side. So this is what it looks like from my side before I work with it. So I've already decided where my sign's going to go. I kind of liked it because you guys voted on the sign, or I posted this sign on my page and everyone said between the house without a home or house without a cat isn't at home or this one, and everyone pretty much for the most part picked this one. And so because the paw print is angled, I wanted the paw print to be at the same angle, almost like the dog one, so that it kind of played off of the sign. So this says, you had me at meow. So you guys can see I have my wire attached in each one of the 4 grapevine, the mini grapevines. And then when I go to glue it, I will take a chenille stem, and so I'll pull them apart, put a little dab of glue on one side, a little dab of glue on the other, and I'll take it like this, and I'll chenille stem it really tight, until it dries. And the same thing here, same thing here, same thing here, same thing here, because when I've done this before and made a ribbon for a customer, you would think they would hold it by the middle, and they don't. They hold it by this, and they're walking through the parking lot like that. The last thing you'd want to do is watch one of your creations just kind of let go. So whatever you can do to reinforce it definitely helps. So that's where having my 22 gauge wire in place and twisted down as tight as you can get, and then push your pointed, cut off the excess, push the pointed side back down, you're good to go. So.
And then I asked how much the private group was.
Private group's only $10 a month, so $2.50 a week.
To start, yep.
Yep, to start. Until we start to get way up there, then everybody else who is paying the $10 a month fee stays the $10 a month fee. You'll be grandfathered in even if the price goes up. So once you're in, you're in. And you can cancel at any time. At the beginning of each month, I will send you a request saying, you know, $10 is due for the March bill. If you want to go ahead and continue, submit your payment. I'll put you back in the group. You're good to go. Because we only keep the tutorials and the supply list current for the month that you've paid for. So once I post the list, you guys are welcome to go ahead and copy paste them. The videos will have a link. You can copy paste them and you can keep them forever. So once you paid, those are yours. But if you come in midway through the month, you'll still have access to everything for that month. But let's say, for example, you joined today, right? It's the 18th. There's only, 10 more days left of the month. Come March 1st, it's another $10. But then it goes for the full 30 days.
So Stacy asked what size are the grapevines?
18 inches.
18 inches for the large ones, and then the smaller paw print are
5.5 to 6 inches.
6, and at Hobby Lobby they come 2 per pack.
Yeah. So,
And
okay.
Mandy asked what day of the week will you be doing your live in the group?
We're going to be voting on that because in my private group, I'm working for you. So you guys will be the ones telling me what works for you, what time works for you, what would you like to see more of. You guys will basically be dictating the lives that we do, and we're going to be working according to whatever you guys want. So,
Ready to start?
Yeah, we're ready to start. So.
And I just pinned it to the bottom, so you should be able to go to her Etsy shop, and you'll see her logo that says Cat's Creation on it with a fall wreath, and I think it says one-on-one coaching or
yeah, just
one-on-one wreath tutorials.
Something like that. And
she's still setting it up, so once you send her an email and all the information, she'll reach out to you.
Well, once they pay, I get
an
invoice, and it has your email, and then I'll add your email to the private group, and then you're in. And you'll see all the stuff that we've already posted, which we just posted something today. If you're selling on Etsy, the top 10 secrets on how to get your stuff to sell when everyone else seems to be underselling you. So that was actually pretty cool. Okay, so now we're using the Probow. Okay, this is only my 3rd attempt using this. The Bowdabra I've used for like 6, 7, 8 months now. So what you will need is, you're going to need your Probow, the hand. I think Steve bought this for me at Christmas. It sat in the closet for quite a while before I actually pulled it out and decided to give it a go. It's very intimidating looking at all the holes, all the dowels that come in the kit, because there's really small ones, there's really tall ones, so you guys can see the small, and then there's like a medium size. So you're like, oh, I'm just going to put that away and go back to what I'm comfortable with. So I'm forcing myself to get out of my comfort zone. The baby little ones, those all go in row A. So let me take all these ones out.
I'm going to zoom in now.
Okay. So to make a bow about this size, so you guys can see my hand, this is about hand width size bow. You would want to start this bow in the A row. So what you would do because this is a 9-layered, I already said it was 9-layered, you would
9
pull,
loops, yep.
yeah, you pull all your little ones, because obviously these are too big to fit in here. So you start with your center loop. So the center is always the center loop of your bow. And then you fan it out, because this is the way you're going to do your bow, depending upon how many loops you want it to have. So you have a center row, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So on that one, like I said, it was a 9, so I had it set up like so. And because you're making small little loops, you know, because you're taking it, you're going to be wrapping it around each one of these dowels, because these are what are catching or making your loops. It's very small, so by the time you finish it and pull it off, you know, by the time you get up here into your center loops, it's really tiny. So, but if you're making something that needs to go small scale, you'll pick row A. So, let me take these out because we're not doing...
WS, what site did you say you watched for the Probow demo? Regina, who actually is the owner of the Probow, she actually does it as well.
Yeah, but... well, I got that because I've
said
been
it was Kathy's Creations?
Yeah, Wreaths by Kathy's Creations.
Which is different.
Yeah, not me, but she's an older lady, short hair. You'll like her videos a lot. She has one, if you click on her Facebook page and go to the video section and scroll down, there's one where you see her making a bumblebee wreath. You'll want the video that goes right before that, because she shows you how to use a wood burning tool to cut your deco mesh. If people want to use that to kind of cauterize it as they go. She shows you all kinds of cool tips. So that's where I watched her do what I'm going to show you guys today. So I'm making sure these are all the same size.
Feel free to share, guys. We'd appreciate it.
Well, share it, because now it's on your page, so you don't have to go look for this bow tutorial again.
Yep. If you share it on your page, or if you share it, then it goes on your page, and you can always click back on it and watch it later. You can watch a replay.
So what I'm doing is you always have your center one. So this is what's going to hold. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this.
Hold your base.
Yeah, this is the base of your bow. So this would be like the center of the Bowdabra. And then these are each going to be one of your loops. So while we don't have a loop holder on the Bowdabra, that's just free flowing, you actually have a loop holder here. So what this does is it gives you that perfect uniformed bow. So you're not going to have one loop a little bigger than the other one, which will happen when you're using the Bowdabra. And that's where you have to make sure you're constantly measuring your loops as you go all the way around. Make sure they're all the same size. So,
Deb said, okay, thanks.
Sure. So you're always going to start with your center loop, and then you decide how many loops you want it to go. I think I want this one to be the same as what I did on the other one, which was 9. So, and I did it in row C. A is the smallest, then it goes up B, C, D, E, and F. The larger out, or the farther out you go, the bigger your bow will be, the bigger your loops will be. And you don't have to worry about changing up, like if you're going 1.5 inch to 2.5 inch to 4 inches.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you just keep working within the same model that you have it set up for.
Same letter.
Yeah, if you're going to go 4 inch, you might want to use the longer dowels so that they're up a little higher. Otherwise, it might not sit on the dowel. I don't have 4 inch ribbons, so it wouldn't pose a challenge for me. But that's what these are for, larger ribbon. Okay, so I've already decided that I was going to do polka dot with the paw print ribbon. And then they give you, and I'm not sure if this comes in every single Probow, but I know on my Probow box, and I'll show you. My Probow box actually says spool holder included. So I'm not sure if there's two different options in buying one, but the spool holder is this thing here. So this holds all your spools as you're working through the Probow. Do you need it? No, it's not necessary. It makes it easier to keep the clutter intact. So, and you'll see sometimes I struggle with getting this to work the way it's supposed to, but that's me. It's not the way it's designed. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're wanna take, I have 26 gauge wire.
26 or 24, yeah.
Yeah, we tried looking for 24 because that's what Regina recommends, but we weren't able to find it in silver. They had it in green,
yeah.
But I didn't want to use green, so I went down one, which means in gauge, the higher up the number is, the thinner the wire is, right. The more likely it will have a tendency of breaking. So I'm going to measure this out towards about 20 inches, and then I'm going to cut my wire. So this is the wire. I'm trying to always use an analogy. This would be like us putting our pipe cleaner in. So this is creating our wire for our base. And you fold it in half as best as you can. You don't want to like fold it. Let me put these things away so they're not in the way.
David said someone the other night used 2 4-inch ribbons on the bottom of the bow and it looked great. Yep.
Yeah, you can. That's why I said when you're building it, whatever you want to be on the bottom, in the Probow, the wider out you go, this is your bottom. So the closer you get to the center, this is the center, and then it fans out to the bottom of your bow, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm putting this away. So I'm moving these down, and I'm flipping them over so that the ribbon all goes in the same direction. So, can you see that?
Yep. I'll zoom out a little bit. Yep, I can see it.
Okay, so I have my ribbons this way, so as you guys can see, I've kind of just lined them up, and I can pull them both at the same time.
Mandy said, yeah, the spool holder came with her Probow as well.
Okay, good. Because I don't know if they all come that way or not.
I know there's 2 sizes.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, I think there's a large and then the medium. So what you want to do is 1 inch in from the edge of your ribbon, and this one you don't have to dovetail cut, because this is going to go in the very center right. of your bow. You will not see this at all. So 1 inch in, you're going to kind of take it and kind of pinch it all together, like so. So we have it like this. This is where wire comes into play. So you take your loop side, and you're going to wrap it 3 times one way. I think I did 4.
Yeah, that's 4.
Okay, and then you're going to go wrap it the other way 4 times or 3 times.
3 times. That's good.
Yeah. Just so that you have now you have an upper and a lower, right? And you have your little, I guess, end piece. So now this is where it gets kind of tricky. So just bear with me as I kind of remember how we do it. So what it's going to have us do is it's going to have us go up through this loop. So don't get too confused till I get to this point here. So I'm just kind of going around the center, and I'm holding the edge where I have my wire wrapped around it. And I'm going to take the wire that's on top, and I'm going to wrap this around my spool.
3 times. A couple times.
Yeah, just a couple times, because this is going to put some tension on it. And then the one that's underneath here, the bottom one, there's a little nail on the bottom of your Probow. I don't know if you guys can see this. There's a little nail here.
Yep.
And you're going to wrap it 3 times here. So now what that's going to do is it puts tension on your bow. So right now I can sit here and really pull it, and it's got good tension on the bow. So I have my pretty side on the, I make sure that's pretty on both sides. So as you guys can see, I've already technically completed my center bow. So now each time you come around your, I guess they call it a finger.
Your finger, yeah.
You're going to take it and you're going to do what we were doing in the Bowdabra. You're going to twist it, or you're going to pinch it. You're going to twist it so that we have the ugly side up. And we're going to take this and flip this over the first finger. Did you guys see that? I know my hand's in the way. It'll be easier probably on the next one.
Yeah.
So, and you don't want to like wrench it and pull really, really tight. That was my problem I did on my first bow. So I had no real, you don't have to manhandle it to put tension on it.
Debbie asked if you're left-handed. No.
No, I'm not. So when we get to the center, again, we're twisting. I'm just putting my thumb there. And so I'm going to take this and loop this over my next finger.
So you can see she's using both ribbon at the same time.
Yeah, it's got my polka dot and my paw print together.
That's
so
what makes it really easy.
I'm doing two at the same time. Yeah. So I'm back to my center. So you pinch, and I've heard people say bottoms up, and so you have your bottom ribbon back up on the top, and so you take it and slide it over your next finger, and you pull it back to the center. You twist, so this is wrong side up, and then you're gonna go over your next finger, and this is where my ribbon starts to go a little crazy. So I just kind of straighten it out as I go. So as you guys can see, I'm just bringing it over. When I get to the center, I do my pinch, I twist it, so it's upside down again. It actually is, I just haven't gotten it flipped. And then pull it back around. See, I haven't mastered the spool technique yet, but I've only got a couple more left to do. I'm trying to keep this ribbon out, or wire out of the way. So twist, twist. Put your thumb there, pulling this out. This is where our practice will make proficient. So back over my spools, keeping this there. See, I don't have to continue to keep holding it. There's already enough tension there. So pinch, twist. Got my wrong side material up again. This is my last time around. The dowel on the left. I'm just straightening out my ribbon because my paw print, I think I'm getting down to the wire. There it goes. Okay. I will reshuffle. There we go. Bring this around for its final journey to the center. Do my twist to the center. Hold it. Yep, I am right there at the end.
Just enough.
Just enough to do it. Now it won't twist. Okay, so it's enough to do that. So I'm going to go around my last time, making sure it's all straight. Come back over here. Do the final twist. Pinch. Twist, push it there, and I'm going to kind of measure out about how long I want my tails to be. So I want this to go about to the D section. So I'm just going to kind of hold it there. And now what you do is, because you've built up such a base, is this is where you take your wire on the top and you undo it, and you have your wire on the bottom, and you undo that, and then you take them, and I was trying to watch Regina do this last night. You kind of twist and twist until you get that really good, and now it'll hold itself. So this is now my base for my bow, so I could technically take this and tie this on. And I'm gonna make my tails. as you guys saw, we had just enough to do that one.
Yep.
I know, I was like, what am I going to do if it's too short? So I'm going to dovetail my ends, because this is the part that is there. Dovetail this again, so fold to the wired side. So that's there. Move this. Keep this because I need to skew.
Annette said, would love if you made a video on the terry bow. Haven't actually used the terry bow.
No, we watched the video on that one last night, and I was like, let's just do the basic bow for now, and then we'll figure the other one out. So now you just lift it up. I just found it's easier to take these out and then to pull this up, and if you have it to where it looks like this, you have been a success in making your bow, is what I've been told. So this is what it looks like, and if you look, it's very similar to what it looked like when we pulled this out of the Bowdabra. So let me move this to the side. Push this out of the way. What I'm going to do is use my Wreath as my, what they call a fluff box. And all the fluff box is, it's a, I'm guessing 12-inch by 12-inch box that's weighted, that has a little eye hook in it. So you put your wire, you loop your wire in there, and then you wrap it around the nail. Excuse me. And it allows you to work your bow a little bit better. This is why I hate using wire, because I'm not really good with managing my wire. Trying to get it tight enough so I can fluff this better for you guys.
You like pipe fingers better?
Yeah, like pipe, because they're thicker. I have an issue with very thin things in my hands. Okay, so again, you start at the bottom and you pull your bows this way. So I'm going to pull paw print one direction,
polka dot
in the other. On the other side, we're always starting from the bottom, polka dot, then paw print, like so. And then we're going to do the same thing. So we're working our way up and polka dot this side, and you can pull this really good. Doing the same thing, polka dot, paw print, and then polka dot. Yeah, paw print this way. So you're just building your bow a little at a time. So polka dot on this side. Sometimes they get stuck in here, so I just push my fingers in and pull the ribbon out. So all I'm doing right now is just getting them separated from each other, and then I'll go back around it and really fluff it up quite a bit, like so. Are you reading my comments?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
Sue said, oh, the fluff box is it's awesome. It's a must.
Yeah.
So we don't have that yet. We definitely, I can build her one, or we can get one.
I'm just going to probably get one. Not that I don't trust you, of course. Because you can pretty much build anything that I want to my specs.
Yeah.
So it just allows you to totally take it, and then you have it in a box and you can spin it around as you need to do your fluffing.
Yep.
So now we're at the center, and I mean, you can kind of pick and choose. Do you want it? I'm kind of leaning towards this. So we're at our center loops, and so now you just sit here and you fluff it. You create the look that you want. You move your ribbons where you need them to go. Always fluffing. And for me, I'm going to end up fluffing it once again once I put it on my wreath where I want it to go. But the nice thing about the Pro-Bow is it allows you to make very precise, even bows.
Yep, Mandy Smith said if you can build her one, then that's what I would do, as it's a must to have. Makes all the difference in the world. Yes, I'll probably make her one.
It's because I have different specifications. I would probably be like, I want it to be this way, and I want it to look like this. It's just something stationary that allows you to really work your bows in any direction you want. So let me untie this, because that's technically what I've used my wreath for, is its own fluff box.
How many of you out there have used the Probow and are pretty proficient at it, or still learning?
Or like me, this is now bow number 4. Okay.
I think everybody they like watching a lot of the videos on how to do it. They're just intimidated on doing
Just throw caution to the wind and grab 2, like I did. I did 2 1.5-inch ribbons, and I really just played with it. I wrapped it around. I kind of did the same thing, twist, flip, twist. I know with the terry bow there's an extra wire involved, and so I'm just getting mastered with 1 wire. I don't want to throw the second wire into the mix just yet. And when you're doing a bow like this where it has just 2, you're going to kind of get it to where there's almost a pattern, like you're going to follow the black through there. You generally don't have that in a couple of different other bow types that you can make with the Probow, but there literally is so many different kinds that you can make, like the terry bow, and there's another version. So I'm just taking this and putting it on my wreath that everybody makes, that you can sit here and go 4-inch ribbon, and then what is it, a 3/8-inch ribbon.
Debbie said only made 1 so far. Tamara said looks beautiful. Stacy said still learning, have made 2 so far. And Kathy said just got mine, haven't tried it yet. And Mandy said I do pretty good with the Damon and terry bows, but sometimes it's a big old mess.
Yeah, and this one you can do the same thing, right? You're not wholeheartedly committed to it, so if it comes out looking a little wonky, you can always undo your wire, take the dowels out, start all over again.
Yep.
You're not committed to it until you get it all the way to the end. But the one thing that I love about this is the evenness and the being very uniform in how the bows come out. It looks really, really nice.
It looks like a professional store-bought bow.
Yeah, so that's that for our cat center bow. So like we did a big bow for the center bow for the dog paw print.
Yep.
So you can just take your, that's what we created. So it wasn't that difficult. And that was row C, just using the center peg. And then I did
row C, right?
Row C, using the center, and then 4 left, and then 4 dowels on the right. So it gave me a total of 9 loops. Yep. And you can do it. You can take 3 ribbons and do it the same thing. Put it on the spool and get 3 ribbons going at the same time. There's ones that you can do where you double up and put a loop. You know, you go around a dowel twice on each side.
Yep. Janet said, have one ordered and can't wait to make some bows. Mandy said, your bow is beautiful.
Thank you.
Midge said, beautiful. Mandy Smith said, been there, done that many times, taken them apart.
Yep.
Sharon said, so pretty. Debbie said, yes, it does. Janet said, yours is anything but wonky. It's perfect.
Thank you.
Debbie said, love the bow, so pretty. And a different Debbie said, love it.
Awesome. So now I'm going to add the last 2 finishing touches on this one, on the cat. Yeah, with the Bowdabra, because I can go a little faster. And I have chosen to go with a gray polka dot and a gray, it's almost like a satin, because it just reminded me of spotted cats or cats with different markings, and then the gray. So this is going to kind of play off this, play off my sign. So it'll have, again, one here and one on the other side. So it's not that hard. As you guys can tell, it goes pretty quick. Where did it go? Oh, it's right here. So we're back to the Bowdabra to make a smaller bow. because I haven't yet defined how to do smaller with less and get the exact precision that I'm looking for. But I love this bow. I think it's amazing. So imagine that on like all your Christmas packages, your Christmas ribbons. So now I'm gonna cut my ribbon again. So we're back to using the Bowdabra. So I'm gonna cut the bent edge that they always put at the beginning and go from the folded side to the outside. And again, I want this, the big polka dot, to be at the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. I'm keeping it at 5 inches. So I'm gonna push that to the side.
Cheryl says you're such a good teacher.
Thank you. I try.
She's a corporate trainer.
Yeah, that's all I did for 10 years. Is I worked for
AT&T.
LA Cellular first, and then AT&T. I was the customer service trainer. So we teach people how to talk to customers on the phone. So 21. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, you're missing something.
I know. See, Steve's catching me now, but I just want to make sure this is 5 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 to 26. Okay. So my bow, again, face down, is going to be my placeholder. And yes, I know I don't have my schnauf done in, but I'm going to do that again. So twist, push down. It's the same technique we were doing on the Probow, where we're twisting and going around our center dowel. So I'm doing the same thing. So I'll just do it this way so you guys can see. Twist, push, but see how my bow's all, it's messed up because I'm not used to doing it that way.
You want to put the ribbon on this side? Is it easier for you?
I can try. I'll just end up moving it because that's just what I do. Out, flipping, twisting.
Sorry about that.
Pushing that down.
My daughter was calling. I'll go call her.
And then I'm going here again. Twist, flip, going down. So I've done my 2. And then I'm going to cut my tail. Like so. And then I'm going to dovetail my ends. Just like so. So that's one polka dot. And now I'm going to do, this is the satiny ribbon. So yes, it does have wire. It's really fine wire on the end. The easiest way you can tell is if you're going into Joann's or Michael's and you can kind of pull a little sample out. Just take it and kind of pinch it. And if it stays in shape, it's got wire in there. Because sometimes it won't tell you it's wired, even though it's supposed to have a little label on the outside that says it is. It doesn't always do that. So here, I'm going to go the fold to the outside. So I got my dovetail, and because my tail is here, I'm flipping it over so I can put it on this side. And the satin bows are a little challenging to work with because they're so slippery. I'm going to take it, twist it, and again, measuring, like I keep my finger in the bow here and bow here, and I can kind of gauge where it's at to make sure that my loops are the same. So I'm pinching, pushing this down. Same thing, twisting, pushing, twisting, last one, and then I've got my tail. So I apologize for the brief moment to where I can't read your comments because my husband's checking in with my daughter to see why she would call. I'm supposed to be working. So, again, because I didn't put my schnauf stem in, and I'm kind of looking at what color do I want. I think I want dark brown because it'll hide in the grapevine a little bit better.
Kaylee's coming home. She's not feeling good.
So I'm picking this up. And yes, I could have used the little wedge thing and pinched it down further, but there's not that many loops on here. So the gray's on top.
Donna Hall just joined. Looks like a little while ago. She said, "Hey, Kat."
Hi, Donna. Glad you can join. We're working with Bowdabra right now. So again, I'm gonna put this on my wreath so I can use it as a fluff box of sorts. Kind of twist it a couple times, starting at the bottom, and just pull it out. And then move things around in position that you want.
I know it's running a little bit long, but we're almost done.
Yeah. Thank you guys for being patient with us. And for those of you who have tuned in and have stuck it out with us the whole time, I appreciate you guys being here. If you want, you can like and share on this video, and then it will be available to you on your page when you decide to pull your Probow or Bowdabra out.
Thanks for sharing, Carol. Yep.
Wing.
And she'll show you both.
Yeah, when I'm done, what
when
they
she's
both
done.
look like.
Yeah, they're both available on her Etsy shop too already.
Yeah, they just had one bow on them, and I said we'll be making the other bow on our live. So I just had people ask me, "Do you do pet wreaths?" So I was like, "Sure, I'll throw some. I'll build the wreaths, and then we'll just add the bows to them." So the thing I like about the satin ribbons is they're very shiny. So let me untwist this one.
The paw print wreaths are really cute. We've actually had a lot of veterinary stores buy them from us, so they put them up on their veterinary clinics and dog grooming.
Rescues.
Dog rescues, yeah.
Yeah, dog rescues are big ones. Because we've had signs that said, I've adopted, I got my dog from a dog rescue. So I'm just putting these on, twisting them.
Linda said, "Got in late. Hope you have a replay." Yes, we'll post this at the very end, obviously, and you'll be able to see the whole replay. And she's used both the Bowdabra and the Probow. And Stacy Holland Moss said, "Yay! I made it to see the bow tutorial."
Yay!
Yeah, we're almost done, but you can definitely go back and watch the replay, and she shows you how to use the Bowdabra and the Probow.
Yeah, the Probow we use to make the big center bows on both of the wreaths, and I just like the control that I have in using the Bowdabra to make the size bows that I want, because I haven't yet played enough to figure out what's B, C, D, E as far as sizes go.
You want to move it back over?
Yeah. So
there you go.
This is where I'm at with my cat one. So I'm going to take this and pull this down so it hangs to the middle. So I can play with these ones and move them where I want them to be. Just like so.
That sign's actually over really far, huh? Are you going to put the other bow on the other side?
Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's this one. So I know you're...
Hold on. There it is.
Yep. So that's this one going next to our cat. And then we're going to make another one of these to go down here, and then we'll be done.
Yep.
So, let's see. We are doing polka dots. So really quick, again, we will do Chanel or dovetail our ends so that we have those as our tails. And you guys could have chosen to do gray on the bottom and the polka dot on the top. It's entirely up to you.
So Mandy, yeah, she used the black and white paw print and then the black and white polka dot for the center, and then she changed it up to use the...
Yeah, I don't have the paw print.
It's a very light burlap color, very light tan, kind of matches the sign in gray, and then like a gray satin ribbon.
Yeah, just because, I don't know, we
They
were
match
looking
the
for a
sign.
little different.
Yeah.
We were trying to find coordinating colors. So again, I'm making sure it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's out to my 26, so then I can start my bows. So I just do loops. So I'm starting a loop on this side, so I'll try to do it this way. So loop, twist, put it in,
Yep.
think that's a little too big. Let me just measure it. So I just use it to measure it. I put it in the center and then I count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And make sure that my bow hits that outside edge. So 21, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little bit more. Okay. So
Mandy
now,
said, okay, so if your sign had another color, you would use that color to match it.
Correct.
you
Yeah.
could.
Right.
This one's just black and white, and I didn't want to like totally overkill it with black and white. I wanted something else, like different colors of a cat. So there's kind of white, gray, black. So that's kind of where I went with that
It's
direction.
a white, but it's more like a whitewash. So it's a little bit
It's like
darker.
a cream,
Yeah, it's like a soft cream color.
but the sign's white. So I'm just making sure these match. So I just flip, twist, push it back into my Bowdabra.
Sounds like a whitewash.
Making sure that my loops are the same, like the top one's just a little bit more. And then flip, twist, push it back in. Again, make sure my loops are the same. And then cut my tails. So we're done with the gray and the polka dots. So we're gonna dovetail those, just like so. And then we're coming back in with our gray. They had like a lighter gray and a charcoal gray, but I like this one because it's kind of like a steel blue. It reminds me of we have a really big Russian blue cat. I don't know where he is.
He's right behind you. He's over there.
Oh, you can show them what Giles looks like later. He's about 24 pounds?
20, no, just 20 or 21 pounds.
I say he's bigger than that. So, because I have my tail here, I'm putting my tail on the other side. And because this ribbon does not have a pretty side or a wrong side, it doesn't matter, but I'm still getting into the practice of twist, push it back in there, push it down, make my loop,
There he is.
twist, push it down. Hi, Giles. Yeah, our Russian blue's name is Giles. And we got him from a pet shop that had way too many cats in a cage. And because of that, he doesn't know how to jump very high.
well.
He's kind of handicapped in that manner, which is good for us. But we love him. So I am down to my last loop.
Giles.
And then I'm going to cut this off. I know he's being obnoxious right now.
No, he's just scratching his chin on the
Hi, buddy.
tripod.
He's just watching us from the floor that you can't see. And then I have that.
Not 29 pounds. He's about 21 pounds.
Yeah, I'll show you what he looks like when we're done. He can make a small appearance because he can't ever jump on anything. He has difficulty. He likes to drink water out of the bathroom sink. It has to be running. But that's his handicap thing. So he has to jump from the floor to the bathtub to the sink to the faucet. And then he's good. So again, this is kind of like what the Probow looks like, but the Probow like fanned it all the way up. Similar process. So I'm just going to take this.
Is that satin wired?
Yes, it is. It doesn't look
Yeah,
like
it
it is. It's very thin wire. We've already gone through how you can tell.
Yeah.
You just bend it. See? Look, babe.
Yeah.
Wired.
Kathy asked, did you say your cat's 29 pounds? I think I said that.
Yeah. I think Kaylee weighed him once, and this was quite a while ago. He was 23 pounds.
No.
Yeah. And it's been a while. And I think he's gotten bigger. So. Okay, and I'm just fluffing. I'm pulling my tails and my bow around, kind of figuring out where I want them to go. Hey. You still live streaming? Yep, almost done. So I'm here, fluffing. I want this one to go this way. This way to go the satin ribbon's different to work with.
David said I had a cat that only drank from the bathtub water running. Yeah,
it's
he only
weird.
drinks from the sink water running.
Weirdo. He left.
He's right there on the
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about how big he is.
Have you shown him on camera yet?
Not
He
yet. So I'm going to take my bow, and now I'm attaching it into my wreath, and then I'll fluff it again once I get it where I want it to go. Oh, come on. Twist, twist, twist. So much easier for me working with,
So I'll zoom out.
yeah, I'm just fluffing, fluffing.
What else do we have that's like a weird cat thing?
Yeah.
I think he's fond of.
So I am fluffing my bows. And have my, so let me, want these to kind of come in the middle. This one might. There you go. Trying to get them to lay in between each of the polka dots. So I have polka dot gray, and then pushing them up so they kind of fluff upwards.
There you go.
This one's kind of going under the other one. Fluffing, always fluffing, right?
About ready to hold it up.
Yep. Okay, this is what it looks like.
There you
So
go.
that's the cat one. So this is the cat one done with the gray and the black polka dots with the paw prints. And then we have, you take that one. This is the dog paw print one with, we did black and white and then white with black polka dots with the checkered ribbon with the paw prints. And that's what that one looks like. And both of them are available on my store. Again, if you guys are interested in joining the group, you can do so on our website.
Yep.
It'll ask you to input your email address, and that's how I add you into the private group. Giles, come here. Okay, watch, I'll show you this cat. Here, I got it. He is cute. Okay.
Show him in comparison to the
This is Giles.
That's Giles, our Russian blue.
Yeah, he's very big. So he's making his debut. So do you guys have any other questions at all about anything that we've done?
If anybody knows how much he weighs, it's 25 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any questions, Steve?
That's it. They said very cute. He's so cool.
I know. And then there's
Yep.
the other one. Okay, so that's it, and I will see you guys back on Friday night at 5 o'clock. It'll just be me flying solo by myself.
Yep, and don't forget to visit the Etsy page that I pinned on the bottom. And you guys feel free to join the private group.
Or like and share this and keep this video as long as you guys want. Okay, guys, have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll see you later.
There's our other cat, Boba.
I know.